so caught up in your feelings, trying to show you what real is. I know I be doing wrong. I ain't gon' stop, you know I finish strong. Get it how you live, that's what we on. I done went down the wrong lane, hoping I can find you, but I don't even know what is road for. If I can pull with this on me, then I'm done for. Got RIPs from my rivals, get no second chances. All decisions are final, don't speak on what you might know. What they saying, get your shine on. Life short, I might not got long. Before I go broke, I'm sipping Hennessy to help me cold. I don't know about you, I ain't tryna be out here alone. I done seen it all that.
Okay guys, GK the Trader here, back with another daily review. Today is August 16th, 2023, Wednesday. And obviously yesterday I drew your attention to how we dug up into this order block here. See the beautiful respect of that. And then Wednesday we sold off. You can check yesterday's video for the review on this day here. There's my alarm. Don't know why, but anyways, we also traded up to the midpoint of this wick here. Beautifully respect that. And displaced lower below the swing low right here. Very important. And then today the main draw was consequent encroachment of this wick. And then later in, going into tomorrow, I'm looking to if we can get below this swing low right here. And along with this wick, also this rejection block right here. So the bodies. So clearing out those bodies, that would be a discount array I was targeting. And so going into today, the main thing here, obviously I was looking for bearish power of 3, so open on this candle, trade higher, and then trade lower. That's what I was looking for. If you look right here on this candle, you can see how we traded up. Immediate rebalance up to this candle's low right here. Match that low. Very important. As soon as it matches that low, you want to expect it to displace lower, and that's exactly what we did. So that classifies it as an immediate rebalance. And then another thing I was looking for is this daily fair value gap. I wanted to see that act as an inverse daily fair value gap. So trade up into it, respect as resistance like it did here, and then trade lower. So with everything I just outlined there in the daily time frame, let's now flip down, right down to the hourly. And as you can see, it was a little choppy. Definitely a very difficult opening range there until we finally got our signatures we were looking for. But anyways, let's just dive straight into it. I have my levels on here. I'm going to take those off. But anyways, first things first, you guys know me. Go ahead and delineate the opening price here. And you can see the very strong power of 3. We open, trade above the opening, accumulate shorts, get below these lows, and then we, right after 9:30, we trade back up above the midnight opening to accumulate more shorts. And if we actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Dow Jones. I don't trade the Dow, but I use it for reference. So if you look at the Dow, you see at that 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock hour, We made a higher high, taking out that London high here. We failed to do that on ES, and we also failed to do that on NASDAQ. So that would be our SMT divergence on the hourly time frame here. So now that we got that established, I'm going to go ahead and just drop right down to the 15-minute time frame. And I'm going to go ahead, mark out the premium arrays here. You see we traded up into this 15-minute fair value gap. See the beautiful respect of the bodies there. And it trades up, essentially matches this high. That's obviously not ideal for looking for shorts, and that it kind of just left these highs intact here, which is fine whenever you have certain signatures that we will get into later in this video. But nonetheless, this was a very beautiful day here. Aside from this opening range here that will get you chopped up, absolutely. But before I dig deeper here, just take a look at what took place here. Right after we made this intermittent term high, which is this London high, intermittent term high, we trade lower, but trading below these lows. So what's this going to do? That's going to induce people going lower. That's going to want them to, they're going to all want to get short, chase price. So now that they dug it down here, they're accumulating longs to then manipulate it higher above opening price. And then up here, this is where they're accumulating their shorts to our discount arrays here, the daily discount arrays that I outlined. But nonetheless, if you take a look at these two highs here, you can see we took out internal buy side liquidity. These two relative equal highs here, you see we took those out. So I can erase that because you see that obviously. So basically we take out buy side liquidity right at 9:30 opening. This is all one big Judah swing for 9:30. So not only are we above the 9:30 opening, but we're also above the midnight opening. So that's overbought right here. You don't need an indicator to know that, obviously. Also trading up into this order block as well. Beautiful respect. Well, not beautiful, but with the bodies it is. But intraday you can get really chopped up and hurt yourself. These are the days where you do not want to push it and you want to wait for everything to get set in place, or else you're going to lose your account. So let's go down to the 15-minute time frame now that we have all that delineated. So obviously it's not ideal to leave these highs intact here. There's three equal highs, but we have a higher time frame narrative and we have deeper liquidity to get to. So before I show you where I entered on here and show you the executions, I'm actually going to flip the NASDAQ, because NASDAQ is what helped me find the draw on liquidity here. So that draw on liquidity would be Monday's low, Sunday's low. So these relative equal lows down here, that was the main draw on liquidity. You saw we got to that. So the draw on liquidity was not buy side. All this push higher was just to manipulate people into getting long. That's all that was. We're not looking for buy side, we're looking for sell side. It's all about the bigger picture. Zoom out. Anyways, we did have another small intraday 5-minute SMT divergence with NASDAQ and ES here. You can go look at your own chart and find that. But for ES here, we also had sell side below this opening range low. So essentially the 930 low, which is 930 right here, just that 9 o'clock low, that's major draw on liquidity along with this internal sell side liquidity. So those getting long off here, hoping for higher prices off this Judah swing, which is what they want you to do. They want you to get long here, here, here. And what do? They just drive it right through that. So let's drop down to the 1 minute time frame. If you take a look here, we have these, obviously there's relative equal highs, but if you look here on the 1 minute time frame, we have 3 drives higher into those highs, trade up into the premium arrays once more, and then we start displacing lower. And then once we got below this swing low right here and neglected this fair value gap here, you saw in the execution video, as soon as it went up into here, this balanced price range here, that's where I went short. And my take profit was only down here at a 15-minute order block. Obviously, I could have got way more profit, but on a day like this, I'm just happy to even get profits in the first place. So, like I said, if you're trying to trade this from 10 o'clock to 11, you most likely were not doing well. But anyways, let me just pull up the executions here. So obviously I went short here. I trailed for transparency purposes, I went short here initially on this gap, small little gap here, and then I got stopped out because my stop loss was way too tight in short. But anyways, ultimately I got a re-entry short, and then full profit was taken here, and then I ended up riding the trend, as you would say, or whatever. I went short here, took a partial short again, and got covered right at this main sell side I was looking for. So that's the business there. I'm gonna go ahead and take those off. So overall, great day. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover here, but if you let's take a look at the 9:30 opening here. So I want to show you what would trip everyone up this morning, just so you don't make the same mistake, obviously. So taking this 9:30 opening here, you see that? So 9:30 opening, price has been trading lower, and then it retraces up into this fair value gap. A lot of traders are probably shorting that fair value gap right there, thinking it's just going to trade up there. That's a short. No, that's not a short. That's called chasing price. And obviously, you got smoked if you were doing that this morning. But as for me, I wasn't looking at this as a short. I was looking at this as they're probably going to use this 9:30 opening as a Judah swing, take out these buy stops here, and trade into this inefficiency. I wanted it to trade into this one, but it traded into the higher one ultimately, which is fine. But so looking at the 9:30 opening, you can just see the manipulation clearly. And then we consolidated. And the reason why I was able to trust this short so much is because we didn't take out this intermittent term high. If we would have taken out this intermittent term high in London, I probably would have just left it alone and just, went on about my day and whatnot. One more thing I wanted to note before I go into the PM session here is, if you take a look at this order block here, this up close candle here, another reason why I was able to trust my short is obviously the displacement, but then we created this 5-minute order block. So I'm going to box that in so you can see it. Go down to the 1 minute time frame, and clearly you can see my short was within that 5-minute order block, within and it was in inefficiency. There we go. Struggling to get my words out there. I went short within this inefficiency within that 5-minute order block. So that's a beautiful signature there. So yeah, I think I covered everything for the AM session. Keep it simple. That's all there is to it. Just looking for manipulation, looking at the daily time frame for the main draw and liquidity, all that good stuff. But I'm actually going to go ahead and take our attention to the PM session here. Looking at this 5-minute chart, what do you see? 3 drives higher, to continuously taking out liquidity twice, going up into a premium 62% retracement level, optimal trade entry. You can see that. But more specifically, within this optimal trade entry, you can see we traded up into this balanced price range. See the respect to that there? It respects it. See the bodies at the low. See that? And then think back to the daily time frame. What was I looking for? I was looking for consequent encroachment of the daily wick, and you could see how we got down there, and we haven't really done much since. So the PM session, that was the target there, the consequent encroachment of the wick. But on NASDAQ, it was the sell side. So let's go back down. Straight to the 1-minute time frame. Obviously, we were 3 drives higher, so buy side's been taken multiple times. Premium inefficiency, and what else? We're also bumping into the low of that daily fair value gap. Look back to the beginning of the video. This tan shaded area here. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and denote a time window here. So if you take 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock here, this will be our silver bullet time window for the PM session. And you can see once we got all of our signatures here that I just said to you, we get this shift in market structure below the swing low right here. And then we retrace up into these inefficiencies. So this is where you would be going short. And there's a smaller one that it traded up into, so you would be going short on this fair value gap here, but allowing your stop for it to trade up to here. So let's go ahead and type that in. So yeah, just overall a beautiful day. I was not in the charts at all whatsoever during this PM session, or else I would have taken this short. I was kind of like, oh damn dude, I wish I was looking at the charts. But I mean, it's fine. I got my profits for the day. I'm content, you know. Potential pyramid entry here. The only reason why you would be pyramiding here is because we still have yet to get to the lows here, which this will be the draw and liquidity, these sell side lows that were engineered here. So, and then obviously you see what happens. We just consolidate around consequent encroachment of the daily wick there. That was our main target for the day. But yeah, I think I showed you everything I wanted to show here. I'm just thinking if there's anything else. I think we're good. Oh, another thing. So if you're looking at weekly profiles, I knew there was something I was missing. Let me get rid of these lines here because they're distracting me. Weekly profiles, you can see we came up, made a, I'm just going to call it a Tuesday high of the week, but technically it's a Monday high of the week. Classic Tuesday high of the week. Displacement lower, retracement. We were traced into this inefficiency on NASDAQ, so that's enough for me to think trust it going lower. And also a balanced price range. Look back to my last video once again if you want to review on yesterday's action. Beautiful day. But anyways, this would be our long-term high. Yesterday, this would be our intermittent term high. And then this London high that was formed, this would be our intermittent term high, along with the SMT with Dow that I showed you. So market structure on our side as well. And then also for the PM session, if you take a look at this 2 o'clock hourly candle, you see we opened, wicked up into what? Obviously the premium raise I showed you, but also take the midpoint of this candle here. This will be the midpoint of the mitigation block, the hourly mitigation block. There we go. So that's the midpoint of this candle here. Why is it a mitigation block? There's this big beefy down close candle. We have a high here, low, failed to make a higher high, and then we displace below that down close candle. That makes it a mitigation block, and you see the respect of it when we retrace up into it multiple times. So yeah, that's gonna wrap this one up here. Beautiful day, aside from that 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock hour. I'm assuming a lot of guys lost a lot of money today. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow on a live stream. Hope this was insightful for you, straight to the point and clear. If it was, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff.